Hello and welcome to this module, which is named as High Impact Appointment Setting Mastery. Now, you have been started posting content on your Facebook profile or Instagram profile or the Facebook groups. You have basically started attracting, started building those connections, started nurturing your audience with the content frameworks that we have shared in the last two modules. I assume that you have started that, and after that, you have also started connecting with them through replying to their comments and started having conversations with them. Okay, in this lesson, we are going to see how to take a step forward, a step ahead, and how to start a conversations, how to follow a conversations, right? How to build the rapport, build the relationship with your ideal clients to book a call with them so that they can enroll to your program. So this lesson is all about appointment setting. So there are a few things that we are going to see in this lesson, and that's our the concept of booking calls. That is the concept of overall appointment setting, why we need to book an appointment, how we do book it, what is exactly all about the thing of appointment setting we are going to see. What are the set attempts? There is a thing called set attempts. So what is it we are going to see? It's the most important thing that you need in order to book more and more calls. Then we are going to see the two types of call that you can book. We are going to see the overview of them in this lesson, and in the next modules, we are going to see the exact frameworks of those two calls. Then the last thing is the high impact appointment setting framework, the framework that is working for me and my clients from past 2 years, and it has worked very well for us. It is not just kind of a traditional way of just having conversations in the DMs and pitching your offer or pitching us a booking link or book a call with them. It's a different way. So let's see how you're going to come up with all these things in this module, right? So before that, I am going to explain you the concept of appointment setting in general. You might be aware of this, but in general, right? So when you have established a conversation with your ideal clients, whether it's in a form of content or replying to the comments or commenting on their profile, right? Now it is time to take the next step in building the relationship. That is setting up a time to chat with them. As simple as that. Setting up a time to chat with them, whether it's in a DM, whether it's in a sales call or a normal phone call. You just need to understand that appointment setting is nothing but setting up a time with your ideal client just to chat with them, just to understand them, right? So the entire process depends on the two key concepts that you need to understand. The concept number one here is the best way to sell your coaching or consulting program is to get on a call with your prospect. Everybody knows this, right? The best way to sell your coaching or consulting program is to get on a call with your prospect. Now, it might be an old-fashioned phone call or a Zoom call, right? So you probably heard a lot of promises and strategies for selling your coaching without getting on a call with your prospect, right? So I want you to save your time and money, because if you're a new coach, those strategies won't work for you. Those tactics are only effective for established coaches who already have a steady stream of clients, steady stream of leads. All their conversion assets, business assets are built already, right? They are great for taking on more clients and scaling your business, but less great if you don't already have a healthy lead flow or a client flow. Therefore, the best way for you to sell your coaching or consulting program is to get on a call with your prospect, right? As simple as that. Concept number two, if you don't ask your prospect to get on a call with you, they are not going to get on a call with you. As simple as that, right? If you don't ask your prospect to get on a call with you, they are not going to get on a call with you. It's one of the biggest issues I see when the new coaches or new entrepreneurs, you have a healthy list of prospective clients, but you're not booking any calls because you're not asking for the calls. As simple as that. It's easy to think that a social media post with your booking link will work, right? The best way to book a call is to be direct and personal. Send your prospects a message and ask if they'd like to get on a call with you. There was a period in my own business when I was feeling especially down in my business. I was working day in, day out on the social media, making some great connections, having conversations, but I was not booking any calls. I was pouring so much of my time and energy into connecting with those ideal clients online, but I was not almost booking any kind of sales call or strategy sessions. I started feeling burnt out. I started overwhelming everything. I was actually having so few strategy sessions booked that was not making nearly as many sales as I wanted. And I was slowly becoming demoralized also. But then I had an epiphany. It was kind of an embarrassing situation for me, honestly. Out of the hundreds of the qualified prospect, I had great conversations with over past several months. I had asked almost none of them to book a call or to get on a call with a sales call or strategy session, right? So remember that if you don't ask your prospect to get on a call with you, they are not going to get on a call with you, right? You won't book the call if you don't ask for the call. That's what people say. Okay. And this is why the instances or the aspect of asking for the call is called set attempts, and that we are going to see. A set attempt is an act of reaching out to the prospective client and attempting to set an appointment. Simple as that. Set attempts are one of the most important metrics to pay attention to, because the more set attempts you make, the more strategy sessions you will book, the more sales call you will book. And the more sales call you will book, the more sales you will make. As simple as that. Now, again, there is a myth that if you create a booking link in a Calendly or any other application so that anyone can get on your calendar with just a few clicks, all you have to do is put it on your website or on your social media. Suddenly, your ideal clients are going to start booking time with you, and all you had to do is put that booking link out into the world. This is a common myth. Yes, you should still do that, but you should not rely on that to book calls with your prospective clients. This may result in few booked strategy sessions or sales call, but it's generally the exception to the rule that you have to ask for the call. You can try it for yourself. Go post your booking link on your website, on your social media platforms, on your social media bio, and see how many qualified strategy sessions or sales call you book that week. Then come back and implement the tactics in this module that I'm going to show you, and see how many qualified sales calls or strategy sessions you book for yourself just by directly asking for the call. So the important point here is to ask for the call. That is, you have to make an attempt to set an appointment with the prospects. And all this is called making set attempts. Before we dive into the set attempts thing, we are going to briefly cover the two types of calls that you are going to be booking in your business. All right. So the two types of calls are the triage call, and the second one is the strategy session. Now you are likely familiar with the idea of the strategy session, right? But perhaps less with its little brother, that is the triage call. We'll talk more about how to conduct each of these calls when we tackle the sales conversations in the next module. But for now, it's important to understand the difference between these two calls. Okay, so there is triage call and there is the strategy session. So let's see first about the triage call. Now, triage call is referred to as a quick call or a consultation or call or a quick connect call, right? So it usually takes less time, 15 to maximum 20 to 30 minutes long. And it is used to determine whether your prospect is an ideal client or not. And then book a strategy sessions if they are a perfect fit, if they are a solid prospect. Okay, because this call is centered around rapport building and information gathering. It is the best option when you are not certain whether a prospect is your ideal client or not. Okay, and there is never a pitch at the end of this call. Instead, if you think they are a good fit, you give them the opportunity to talk further with you about what working together would look like. As simple as that, right? So the triage call is just for information gathering, for building a rapport with your ideal client, just knowing each other, right? And it just 15 to 30 minutes long. Simple as that. And there is never a pitch in that call or at the end of that call, right? The next one is the strategy sessions. Now, these strategy sessions you might be aware of. This is frequently called as free consultation or a discovery session or a strategy session. Okay, now this is more of a formal sales call, and it usually takes 45 to 60 minutes long or maximum 90 minutes long. Okay, now the purpose of the strategy session is to dig deeper into the prospect's pain points, help them identify what's holding them back, and share your offer at the end. Okay, share your offer with them if you are confident that you can help them. Now, these calls are reserved for the prospects who show all the characteristics of your ideal client. It means that you have interacted with them and gathered enough information on the triage call to feel strongly that they are a good candidate, they are the perfect fit for your program, and you are ready to help them. Right? So in building relationship with your ideal clients, your prospects, you're going to be booking both of these types of calls. So it's important to understand when to use each of these. Right? Now you might say, or you might be wondering why we are taking this approach of booking 2 calls instead of just 1 sales call. Now here's my answer to this, that in this era of client acquisition, or in this industry of in this market of client acquisitions, the process of setting the appointment has evolved significantly. You might be aware of the traditional methods that involves just engaging with your audience, sending direct messages, cold DMs, and booking a sales call, right? That you may be aware of and tried, right? And the reason they don't work is because all are aware of that tactic. So when you follow the traditional approach, your prospect already gets a sense of your sales methods, sales tactics. And unfortunately, they stop replying you, they ghost you, they ignore you, which is a complete failure for you, right? So the traditional approach has its limitations and may not always give you the desired result or the desired outcome. Okay, so let's explore why the old traditional method, the old traditional way is outdated, and why the new way delivers quick results and is more effective than the traditional one. Okay, now let's see an overview of this traditional way. The number one is the initial engagement. This is where you are engaging with your audience content, right? It begins with creating content to engaging with your audience, right? It may not always lead to direct conversations, right? So sometimes when you comment on someone's profile, it may not lead to it may not lead to indirect conversations in the DMs or booking a sales call, right? Then after that, you send them a DM. Sending DMs after engaging with your audience, the next step is to often send the direct message, DMs, and just follow a script to initiate those conversations, right? However, this can be time consuming and may not always result in meaningful conversations or booked sales call, right? Then after you start sending them the DMs, then you book a sales call. Now, once the conversation that is initiated in the initial engagement or the DMs, the goal typically is to book a sales call to discuss further details and potentially close a deal, right? So, however, many people are hesitant to book a direct sales call with you, which leads to prolonged conversations without any clear outcome. So, it works still for someone, but it has many limitations to it. Number one, it is time consuming. The traditional approach is time consuming, as it involves engaging with a large number of audience, and you need to have multiple conversations in DMs for a longer time to just book a single sales call. So it's time consuming. Low conversion rate due to having meaningful conversations sometimes, and often due to hesitation of the prospects to book a sales call with you, the conversions rates of this traditional method is low, which results in a longer sales cycle, right? Third is lack of qualification. There is no proper qualification process here. Without a proper qualification process, sales calls may be ineffective, and which leads to wasted time and efforts, right? So this traditional appointment setting, I have used it a few years ago. It still works for someone who have mastered this, but it's not work for me, and I don't, my values didn't align with them. Okay, because this is just a generic following a script and then booking a call. When you do it in volume, it works. If you send 100 DMs per day, 100 messages to book a call with you, then it works. Maybe one or two, or at least few people will book a call with you, but it doesn't work because it takes so much time. It's time consuming. It has low conversion rates, and there is no qualification process also. So the traditional appointment setting framework, the old way, didn't work or didn't resonate with me as much. Now we are talking about the high impact appointment setting framework. That is the new way that I'm talking about inside this module, inside this program. Okay. Now, when you see at the screen right now, although it looks complicated and has many components than the traditional approach, this is the most effective and simple framework once understood clearly and mastered. So here is the overview of the high impact appointment setting framework for you. Now, this approach focuses on engaging with your audience and initiating conversations by building genuine relationships with them in the DMs. Instead of aiming to immediately book a sales call, the focus is on building the initial rapport and understanding the client needs, right? So by building rapport and establishing a relationship with your clients, the most important factor, that is trust, is built. The trust is established here. Okay, so as you can see in the diagram, after the 4-step DM mastery, there is a triage way and there is a messenger way. So by using the triage way, we make it easier to qualify them as your ideal clients. In the new approach, there are set attempts to book a call with your ideal clients. This will ensure that the process is effective and efficient for you. Okay, before booking a sales call, a triage call is conducted to determine if the prospect is a right fit for your services, your offers, and your coaching program. This will help you to qualify those leads and ensures that your time is spent on the right prospects and the right clients. We are going to deep dive into each of these steps that you are seeing on the screen in detail from the next lesson. I'm just giving you an overview of what was the old and the traditional method and what is this new method. This method has worked for me very well. I'm using this from 2 years. In short span of time, you can book many sales calls and enroll many clients using this framework. Okay, so the advantages of these are 3: high conversion rates, efficient use of time, and clear qualification process. By qualifying your leads before booking a sales call, this is why there is high conversion rates and a shorter sales cycle, right? Efficient use of time, the new approach, the high impact appointment setting framework focuses on engaging with the qualified clients, qualified leads, which makes the process more time efficient by not focusing on the leads who aren't a perfect fit or aren't qualified. Okay, and with the clear qualification process in place, this approach ensures that the time spent on the right prospects leads to higher success rate, as simple as that. And as I said, it looks complicated and has many components to it, but it is the most effective system with the step-by-step instructions for you. And it's a simple framework once we look at each aspect of this in the upcoming lessons. So in overall conclusion, the traditional way of appointment setting, which involves engaging with your ideal clients or audience, sending them DMs, cold DMs, and directly booking a sales call, is outdated and effective in my opinion. Where this new approach, which focuses on engaging in the conversations, in a meaningful conversations, building initial rapport, and setting up a triage call where you qualify your ideal clients and gather some information, this process is more effective and delivers quicker results. And by implementing this approach, you will streamline your client attraction process and achieve better and efficient outcomes and results, right? So this was all about an overview of what are the things that we are going to cover inside this module, inside this appointment setting mastery. In the next lesson, in this module, we are going to see how each of these components of the high impact appointment setting framework works effectively for you. I'll see you in the next lesson.